Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the topic, can you afford to come to Thailand and live? So the things we need to look at are the different expenses that you will encounter here in Thailand. Not much different than what you would have in your own country, but we're going to go over ways that you can calculate what each one of these expenses will be for you, because only you know your expenses and the way that you live. So nobody's going to be able to tell you how much it's going to cost per month to live here in Thailand. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. Now, all of the amounts that we're going to discuss will be in baht. I know some of you are going to leave me down in the description, why didn't you just put this in US dollars or whatever? We've got people watching from all over the world, so the easiest way to do this is just to talk about the baht, and you can figure that out, what that would be in your currency later on. And for those of you who watch our channel on a regular basis, you're thinking, Tony's wearing a different shirt. Yeah, this is one of our new shirts that we put in our merchandise store, linked down in the description. Anyway, the first thing we want to go over with today is the obvious expense of housing. So for housing, obviously that's a wide open. Are you going to live in Phuket? Are you going to live in Rayong? Are you going to live in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai? Where are you going to live in Thailand? And the cost for real estate is going to vary for where you're at in Thailand. So for this, I'm going to put all these things, a link in the description down below, so don't worry about that part. But I'm going to send you to a website called Thailand Property. And on this website, you can put in what area of Thailand you're looking to stay in, and you can put in either your budget, you can search by the amount of money you want to spend, but anyway, you can use this website to find out how much housing is for the type of house or accommodation, condo, townhome, whatever that you're looking for in the area that you're looking for, and get a good idea of how much it is. So you may have in your mind an amount that you want to pay per month. Well, go on this website and see if that's a feasible number. You may have too high of a number and find out you could live in a gigantic mansion here, so you can knock that budget down a little bit. But anyway, play around with this website. It will really help you a lot. It's what we used when we first moved here to Thailand a little over 2 years ago. Now, the next expense we want to talk about is utilities. So let's break this down. The first one being water. Now, the best I can do is tell you what water costs for us on a monthly basis. So for water, you're looking at somewhere around 300 baht or less. Now, I'm giving you the expenses for my wife and I together using water. This is actually a really low bill for everyone a month. This is one of the cheapest bill we have. So water is cheap, keep that in mind. The next one we want to hit is electricity. Now, this is one of the higher ones, and this is going to depend on where you live in Thailand. But I can give you a rough estimate on what my wife and I consume in electricity. We have a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and it's 2-story. We run at least one air conditioner 24 hours a day, and our electricity bill is anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 baht per month. This could be substantially lower if you don't run your AC all the time. And to keep in mind, we do have a drying machine for our clothes. So when we do laundry, we're running that, and that does use a lot of electricity. Plus, we have air purifiers and we have dehumidifiers. So we do use a lot of electricity. So use that as a basis for 2 people. Hopefully it will be a lot less for you, especially if you're one person coming over here. Maybe you'll use a fan and not the air conditioner. So take our amount with a grain of salt. It's probably going to be a lot less for you depending on the size of the home and how many people are in your family. The next expense for utility will say internet. So we use a company called 3BB, and there's a lot of internet companies. We're very happy with 3BB. No, we haven't used any of the other companies in Thailand, but we can tell you how much we pay a month. So there's like 4 or 5 different tiers you could pick from. I know we're on not the bottom one, but the next one up, which is around 700 baht per month. We're very happy with the speed. It's faster than what we had in the United States. And I upload, as you can imagine, a lot of videos, and I do some online gaming every now and then. So I can tell you that the internet speed is excellent here, and there's no issues with the 700 baht a month plan, if that gives you any help. Next thing is, let's say, your phone plan. Now in the US, we spent, at least for my wife and I, $200 US a month. Here in Thailand, the phone plans are so much cheaper. For a phone plan here in Thailand, and this is for one person, this is unlimited data, it is around 2,000 baht for an entire year, not monthly. 2,000 baht for the whole year. So very affordable. And that was a breath of fresh air when we got here. I love that the phone plans are so cheap here in Thailand. Now, if you're curious as to who we used, we're using AIS. That is the company we picked. There are many other companies. We have not used anyone else, but we are very happy with our service with AIS. The next expense would be for food. So let's talk about groceries. Now, I don't know how much groceries you're going to buy, and I don't know, how often you eat at home or if you have a whole family. So we're not going to go there with an amount for groceries. It's just too difficult. Let's talk about eating out, because that's what a lot of people do here, because it is fairly cheap to eat out. Now, you're going to see a lot of cost of living videos where people, including myself in the past, have said, oh, you can eat for 40 baht a day. This is true. But the question is, how often are you going to want Thai food? Are you going to want it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are you going to want it every day? You're probably going to find out that from time to time, you're going to want food that is not Thai, which is more expensive. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about food. So yes, you can eat for as little as 40 baht a month, or you could spend up to 500, 600 baht for a single meal, depending on the type of restaurant and everything else. So I'm going to leave that one up to you, because again, that's too subjective. Everyone's going to be different. If you're on a budget, yeah, you can eat for 40 baht for a meal, but obviously you can eat for a lot different food and at a lot nicer place for more money. Now, what about transportation? So you're going to have to budget. If you don't buy a motorcycle or a car, you're going to need to budget for either a motorcycle rental or a car rental, which is again going to differ greatly compared, where you're going to be at. I can tell you some of the rates that I know of. I'm in the Chiang Mai area of Thailand, which if you don't know where that's at, it's all the way up north. And things are cheaper here in Chiang Mai. And I know you can rent motorbikes for a very cheap amount. I would say do a Google search for the area you're interested in, because a lot of the rental places will have websites and they'll have prices on there. You could easily find out what they are for a monthly rental for a motorcycle or a car. A car will be a lot more expensive than a motorcycle. The motorcycles are a lot more competitive here in Thailand. Now, if you're looking to purchase a motorcycle or a car, you will need to budget for that. I just want to give you some quick notes. So for a car, cars are actually pretty expensive, even if you buy a used one. They hold their resale value. Just keep that in mind. If you want to know how much a car is, what I would suggest is going on to Facebook Marketplace. Put in the area of Thailand that you're interested in. Let's say it's Bangkok. And then search for used cars to get an idea of what cars are offered here and how much they are. You might be surprised on how much it is to get one, but just keep in mind that you could always resell that car at a later time. And again, the resale value holds really well here. You can sell your car here. I've done that myself, where I purchased a car and I sold it about 4 months later for exactly what I paid for it, so I didn't lose any money on that. Now, as for motorcycles are fairly inexpensive here, especially if you buy the ones that are made here in Thailand. So Honda does do a lot of motorcycle manufacturing here in Thailand, therefore the prices are fairly low. If you're looking to buy something like a Harley, you're going to pay a lot more because it's imported. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, if you're looking to buy a new or used motorcycles, all those are available here. And if you're worried about buying a used motorcycle here, well, just know if you need to get anything repaired on a motorcycle, it is usually very cheap. Now we have many more things to discuss, but real quick, I just wanted to remind you all that if you ever want a one-on-one discussion with me about your move to Thailand, you have questions, you can always find a link to that on our Buy Me a Coffee page, which there's a link down below, and look for the big little square logo that says one-on-one, and we can schedule that. Now, don't forget to put in an expense for your entertainment. Again, subjective. I don't know how much entertainment you need. Are you going to go out and drink at bars? That can get pricey. Are you going to go out to the movies? Things like that. So take into consideration when you're figuring out your expenses for moving here to Thailand that you don't leave your entertainment budget at zero, because you will want to be entertained. There's plenty to do here in Thailand. It is very affordable here, so I think you'll do just fine. Now, don't forget about gym or fitness memberships. So if you're someone who likes to exercise and you're moving here to Thailand, I can give you an idea of what the gyms cost overall. There's a range I'm going to give you, and that is the daily rate range. So if you only want to pay by the day, I've seen rates at many different gyms that vary between 70 baht to 100 baht. Now again, that's in Chiang Mai, which is a little bit cheaper, but that'll give you a good idea of what the daily rate is if you just want to pay by the visit going to the gym. If you want to get into a year-long contract with them, it's a lot less per visit when you do the math, depending on how many times you go a month. So just use that as a gauge for what your expenses will be for the gym memberships. Now, when you're in Thailand, you will have a visa of some sort, and there are different visa fees. So again, that's going to vary with what kind of visa that you have. Some visas are more expensive than others because of requirements and things like that that are involved with the visa type. So make sure you figure out what visa that you're going to need and look up the different fees online that are associated with the visa that you choose. Now, another thing to keep into consideration when you're figuring out the expenses of Thailand is moving your money from your home country to Thailand. Now, my wife and I, we use an app called Wise. It used to be called TransferWise, but now it's called Wise, and that is how we transfer our money. So the fees for transferring money from your home country to Thailand are going to vary. Like on Wise, the app we use, if we do a link to our bank and set it up as a transfer straight from our bank account, it costs a lot less than if we use a credit card to try to transfer our money out of an account in the United States to Thailand. So when you're researching this, look at the different ways to transfer money. It always seems to be a cheaper option to directly link your bank account with whatever transfer agency you want to use. Now, also don't forget about insurance. So first we're going to talk about insurance for a car and a motorcycle. So I can give you the rate that we're paying, my wife and I, for our car insurance. And there's a first class policy, second class policy, third class policy. I'll put a link down in the description. We did a whole video on car insurance that explains everything, but I have second class insurance. And for a year, we pay 8,300 baht per year, not monthly, for the whole year. So that gives you an idea of what car insurance would be. But what about motorcycle insurance? For motorcycle insurance for a year, it's around 3,400 baht for the entire year. Again, not monthly, for the entire year. So it's very inexpensive. And I do recommend that you do have some insurance if you're going to drive here, because accidents happen. This is a dangerous place to drive. And I have several friends of mine who have already been in accidents, and I hear about more every day. So it's a good thing to have, and it's not that expensive. Next thing, let's talk about health insurance, which is a huge topic for a lot of people. And yes, I am working on trying to get a video just for health insurance. I did do one not too long ago, but I do want to do one more in depth. I will put a link below to the one we did last time. It'll be in the description. So how much is health insurance? Well, I can only tell you what my wife and I pay. It's going to depend on your age, pre-existing conditions. This is a very difficult thing to give you a price on. But the only thing I can do, again, is let you know how much I'm paying. So I am 54 and relatively decent health. and I pay 35,000 baht a year for insurance, and that's only going to cover the major things. If it's anything minor, I'm going to go ahead and just pay out of pocket for it because Thailand is cheap for medical care. But if something major happens, that is my amount that I pay per year, and it will cover anything major medical. And always keep a budget for miscellaneous costs, things that go wrong, things that you don't expect, because things like that do happen here in Thailand. They happen like that where you're from, I'm sure, as well. But just keep that in mind. Now, if you were looking for a video that gave you exact amounts on everything, I'm sorry, this wasn't the one for you. However, no one's going to be able to give you the amount that it will cost you to be here in Thailand. However, if you can't afford to be here in Thailand, it's hard to afford just about any country because this is one of the lower countries for cost of living. Now, I would like to give some shout outs to people who have contributed to this channel, either by Buy Me a Coffee, which there's a link down in the description to that, or they gave on Super Thanks, which is down below. We do have people who give on Patreon, which is on a monthly basis, and we do have a merchandise store, so we really appreciate everybody who's been on that. So today I'm going to go over the people who gave just in the last week, and those people are as followed. On Super Thanks, we have Chilo O again, so thank you very much. We have Eric B, and we also have Shy, so thank you very much to you guys. Also on Buy Me a Coffee, thank you to Billy. We just had a one-on-one chat this morning. Thank you very much, Billy. It was a pleasure meeting you today. And on our merchandise store, we had Rob G. Thank you, Rob G. He bought one of our coffee cups that we have on our merchandise store, so thank you very much. Anyway, if you like the video, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And until next time, Kap Kun Kap.